Hi, you guys. It is Friday, November 27th, 2015. My name is Doris, and this is the Knit and Purl Podcast, episode 75. How y'all doing? Did you survive Thanksgiving? Have you come out of your turkey coma? And did you survive if you went to the Black Friday sales? Let us know. You can find the show notes for this podcast on Knit and Purl, PEARL.net. All the show notes, all the links. In social media, I am One Fine Cow on Ravelry and Twitter. I am One Fine Design on Facebook and Etsy. That would be the number one. And I am Doris M. Smith, all smooshed together and lowercase on Instagram. This podcast has a Ravelry group, which is the Knit and Purl Podcast group, and there are links in the show notes. You can go there and click the link and get easy access to the group. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, there will be link down there. We have one new member this week, and she is Elisa MCS. I don't know if her name is Elisa and she likes MCS. But anyway, welcome. Thank you for joining the group. Thank you for your participation and for introducing yourself. Thank you. Welcome. Start a thread if you need to or want to. So we also have birthday shout outs for the Ravelry group, and we have one birthday this week, which is actually today. And that is Nitty Turtle, who is Trish. Her birthday is today. Happy birthday, Trish. I hope that you had a wonderful birthday and that it didn't get swallowed up in Thanksgiving. But happy birthday. This podcast has a November knit along. And it is just a finished objects thread. And the rules are, you must be a member of the group to qualify for prizes. Objects started on November 1st and completed, and posted by November 30th. You can enter twice, 2 entries per person. Chatter is welcome and encouraged on the thread. Double dipping is welcome. The project must be at least 100 yards. Must be a 100-yard project. You know what I mean. Needs to use 100 yards. Prize will be a $6 or less giftable pattern on Ravelry. So, you have today. You have until Monday or Tuesday morning December 1st to finish, to post, to complete, or whatever. Good luck. That moves us on to the story of the week and stash enhancement. There is no stash enhancement. And so the story is just Thanksgiving. We had a very wonderful and relaxing Thanksgiving morning. I had coffee and knitting in my PJs until we left around 1 to go. Well, we left about 12:30 to go to Ted's sister's house. We had fun times with family. We had turkey, we had ham, yams, stuffing, green bean casserole, candied carrots, mashed potatoes and gravy. We had brown and serve rolls, which is one of our favorites. I know, they're not homemade rolls, but we had brown and serve rolls when we were growing up, and so did Ted, and so the tradition just continues. Brown and serve rolls for days. We also had pumpkin pie, pumpkin trifle, cherry pie, and apple pie. And if you caught my Wednesday Periscope, it was knitting and pumpkin pie, and I I had a pumpkin pie in the oven, and you guys who watched on Periscope got to see me bring it out of the oven. It was delicious. There is a coupon code for my Ravelry store. You can only get it by looking at the thread and by listening to the video. The coupon code for 15% off my Etsy store is capital K, capital N as in Nancy, capital P, N, KNP 15. Is that right? Yes. KNP 15 will get you 15% off anything in the store. So that is that. Oh, almost forgot. This week I am going to be inserting a video right here. And it's just a little video about my knitting story, how I used to knit, how I tried to correct, how I knit now. Little video. Hope you enjoy it. So, hi everybody. I am going to be doing a short little video on my knitting history, I guess you can say. So I'm left-handed, and I started learning to knit, and I learned to knit right-handed. And I don't know if the person that showed me how to knit showed me this or if I just did it. So for years I knitted like this. I put my needle in the crook of my legs to hold the one needle because I couldn't hold both of them. And then I knit in the back loop and yarned over. So my needle was held by my leg so that I didn't hold this one, and I knitted from the left to the right as the most right-handed knitters do, but always in the back loop. Then I found out, I knit this way. I knit sweaters, I knit blankets and hats, all this way, knitting in the back loop. So I guess, if that's all I was doing, it kind of worked out. But all my stitches were twisted. So purling, same thing. Stuck my needle here. Brought my yarn in front. And I purled through the back loop. I caught my yarn from the back. Did a yarn over. And so this is how I knitted and purled for years. And like I said, I made projects, but then started watching knitting podcasts and realized that I was knitting wrong. If there is a wrong way. I don't know that there really is a wrong way to knit, but I wasn't knitting like everybody else. Always in the back loop, either purling and knitting. So all my stitches were twisted, and I guess they didn't look as pretty as most people's. So as I began to watch knitting podcasts, I wanted to learn to knit the right way. So here's how I tried to correct it. Again, always going from the left to the right. Stuck my needle in and very awkwardly, I tried to knit in the front loop. It was not comfortable. You see what I did? Not easy. And it took a lot more time. than I was used to. So I didn't like it. And so I'll show you how I tried to purl. And I don't know if it's because I was knitting the other way for so long that it just was, and even now, it's so difficult that, like, this is not going to work for me. So what did I do? I started doing it the way I always did it. Like, whatever. I could even, so what if my stitches are twisted? This is my purl from the back loop that I always did. So then I watched more podcasts and I kept feeling bad because I knew I was knitting it wrong. So one day I was determined that I was going to learn to knit left-handed. So I went on YouTube and I followed a video on how to knit left-handed, and inadvertently I learned how to continental knit. So I twirl my yarn over my pinky finger and then bring my index finger under. And this might be hard because I don't know how these stitches are. Okay, so let me go back to the other, because those stitches are twisted. So I hold my yarn, my working project, in my right hand. Maybe that's what I was doing wrong. And I knit from the right to the left. And I twist. That's exactly what I was doing wrong. So I'm confusing myself. But this is how I knit now. And it's awkward because I'm showing you, but I knit so much faster and easier. I don't have to stop my needles and throw my yarn. So this is my knit stitch. Next row I will show you. And probably all you people watching this being right-handed think that what I'm doing, it looks awkward, but this is, I'm very, very happy that I found this video and I'm now knitting this way. But my purl is not true continental because I do throw my yarn a little bit more for the purl, but I don't have to drop a needle to do it. I use my finger. And I think that the way I pull back is just for tensioning, but that is how I purl. And that, my friends, is my knitting story, so to speak. I'm not perfect. I'm not the most perfect knitter. And when I was knitting the other way, the first I showed you, I was able to watch TV and not watch my knitting. I'm a new continental left-handed knitter. So I have not got that muscle memory yet so that I can not look at my knitting. So anyway, hope you enjoy. And I will see you in the podcast. So that moves us into finished objects, and I have a half-finished object. I finished one of the socks. This is a Rose City Roller, which is a free pattern on Ravelry by Mara Catherine Briner. The yarn is Plymouth Yarn Neon Now. And I didn't ever write the number down. Yes, I did. It is 005870. So I used US 2s, which is 2.75 millimeter. My Stitchberry 40-inch circular, I did magic loop. And I modified the pattern. Instead of doing 1.5 inches of stockinette, I just did 1 inch. And then I also added a fish lips kiss heel instead of the heel flap and gusset. I have not started the second sock yet. Oh, there's where I was last week. And I finished the toe. I did a Russian graft on the toe, which has become my new favorite closing of the toe. I have yet to do a toe-up sock. It's coming in the future. Maybe my next sock. This is the Christmas gift. So I need to get the second one started. And that project is in my Joanne Springs Knit Spin Farm. Links in the show notes. This is her sock size. It's nice. Here's the inside. I never show that. And here's her little It's Been Farms. That's all of the finished or half-finished objects. And the whips, I am only going to show 2 because I didn't work on. I did one. I completed 1 row on the freesia and I didn't touch the tunic. So the sock, whips. I'm not going to nay. So the next work in progress in no bag is the Simple Raglan Cardi, which is a free pattern on Ravelry by Lion Brand. There is a link in the show notes to the patterns. The yarn is Loops and Threads. And here's how much I have left of the first skein. Loops and Threads, Snuggly Wuggly, 100% acrylic. The color is Doodle Dots. I am using size 7s, US 7s, which is a 4.5, and US H, which is a 5 millimeter. My Addy Turbos, 40-inch circulars. The pattern calls for US 6 and US 7. I wanted it to fit me, so I wanted it to be more drapey and a little bigger than the pattern. And so far, I have succeeded. So, here it is. Where's my doodle dilly? Here it is. I didn't do a lot of knitting. Here's where I was last week. Here's where I am, how much I've gotten done. I'm getting ready to start doing the decreases. So I also modified the pattern by making sleeves where there wasn't and increasing the bodies by a little bit. Also, I added, if you look at the pattern, there's no garter ridges. I added the garter ridges to break up the stockinette. So hopefully I've got to finish the sleeve and do the side, the front panel ribbing on each side, and it'll be done. And I'm ready for it to be done. So I might have to break into the other skein. I don't know. And I started a new project this week because it needs to be done by or around December 29th. It's not Christmas knitting, it is baby knitting. In my Joanne Springs Knit Spin Farm bag, links in the show notes, I started, it's called, I can't pronounce it. I'm modifying a baby hat. It's the Klein koozie hat. Gazelig. I'm going to pull it up because I'm not doing it justice and I don't want it to be a big fail. So going to me, going to my patterns, and it's the second one. So here it is. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. And it's for bulky or chunky weight yarn. What I'm doing is I'm going to knit it to, and I've already started the decreases, but I'm going to make the decreases longer so it's one of those like long hats, you know, with Santa hats kind of. But here it is. The pattern calls for using US 8's 5mm, but I'm using, I put it on and it was just like it seemed so small. So I went up a needle size. I went up to 5.5 US 9's. My Addi Turbo circular. I'm doing magic loop. So I talked to the mother and I told her about the here's what it looks like. It's so pretty. This is like frozen. So I was talking to the mother and I'm like, you know, because I had it with me on Thanksgiving. And I told her that the plan is to crochet a pink flower to button in case she has a girl. And she said, what about a snowflake since we're talking winter? And I'm like, so if anyone out there has a pattern for a snowflake, a crocheted probably a crocheted snowflake, please let me know where I can find it. I haven't searched yet. It just happened yesterday, but yeah, a snowflake. Even though it's going to be pink. It's a snowflake and it'll feed into the winter frozen theme of this. I'm making a hat and a Snuggie with this color. And she's going to be using it to do the photo op for the baby. So if you know of a snowflake crocheted, or I don't know how a knit one would work, but yeah, if you know of a pattern, please leave a comment, let me know. Thank you so much. So that's all the whips that I'm showing today. Sorry, hopefully knitting will get better as we go along because I'm kind of slouching a little bit on the knitting. Well, you know, it's been busy. For Thanksgiving, you know. So we're going right. No, there's no new spinning. No spinning. I haven't started a new project. I've been itching to, but I haven't. So Pinterest. Pinterest this week is 16 plus tunic knitting patterns. There is a link in the show notes. If anybody is like looking to knit a sweater, there's sweaters. All kinds of and styles of sweaters. Here's a dress, actually. Try to make the picture bigger. It won't stay bigger. But anyway, there's a dress. And tunics. I love knitted tunics. That is really, really cute and something I might Give me a second. I click on it. And they're free patterns. I'm clicking on it. Hang on. Let's see what happens. Yeah. Get the free knitting pattern. Because, oh my God, I love that. Okay, it didn't open up. Anyway, there's like 16 plus patterns, free knitting patterns for tunics and dresses. So you can go to the show notes and click on the link. Or you can go to Pinterest and type in 16 plus tunic patterns. So, stumble, I am going to share 2 stumbles. The first one being, well, I'm not doing it in order of what it's on the notes, but is a quote. "20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones you did." Mark Twain. Yeah. And finally, since Thanksgiving has just passed, and some of us might have leftover turkey. 15 leftover turkey recipes. I'll show you a picture. So, let me see. This one is a frittata. It's actually turkey and sweet potato frittata. Turkey brie grilled cheese sandwich with cranberry mustard. Turkey, corn, or chicken corn chowder. Leftover turkey tikka. I don't know. Anyway. Pot pie. Salad, enchiladas. There you go. 15 leftover turkey recipes. So, that is it for this week. Don't forget to go over to the Etsy store and see about using the coupon code for buying a gift for the Christmas holidays or a gift for you. I have jewelry for the most part, a knit pattern, and some knitted hats. Yeah. So, I will not be filming next week because Ted and I will be going on Thursday night to a Big and Rich concert at the pageant, and then so exciting. And then Friday I leave to go home on the traditional first weekend in the December Girls' Day out with my sister. So I will see you in 2 weeks. See you all later. Bye.